Please note, this video is very long and as such I have provided timestamps in the description below for the relevant areas that you may want to watch. Please also note that due to the length of this video, that some details may have been missed. However, there should be enough knowledge garnered from this video to allow you to change any numbering or destination on any given multiple unit class in Train Simulator. Hello folks, this is another Brucie-Magik video. Today I'll be doing a comprehensive video on how to change numbering and destination blinds on various multiple unit classes for Train Simulator TS2019. The last time I did this video was 5 years ago, and since then many new packs have come out and added many more features and classes to the ranges available for Train Simulator, and I think it's about time that we did a comprehensive review as such of how we can change such numbering systems. First of all, we're going to start off with the first generation DMU units. This is classes 101 through to 121 currently in Train Simulator, and we're going to start with the Weardale and Teesdale class 101. This is one that came with Weardale and Teesdale. It's quite important to remember some of these have got varied methods of changing their destinations. So, in order to change the number and destination, you double click on the unit in Scenario Editor and you get a flyout on the right hand side, which I'll just pin for now. And as you can see, there is a string highlighted in blue consisting of the unit number, the B and the W. So, basically this is how it's formatted. That's the unit number there, so E50220 is the number of this vehicle. We'll just nip around the side here to verify that that is the unit number. He says if he can find it. Well, isn't that a surprise? It's not on there, but never mind, it doesn't matter too much. So, if I want to change the number from 220 to say 254, and I want a 2B route indicator, and I want the W for Stockton and Teesdale, I hit enter. So what this means is I've just renumbered the unit. There we go, there's number. So the number has changed to 50254. So the next step will be looking at changing the route indicator or head code route indicator at the bottom of the unit. This can be very limiting in characters, but for example, I should be able to do 1A. I could do 1B. He says as he misses the mouse click. I could do 1B as well. So we've changed that as well. So basically, they'll be the next two characters in the string in this box. The last character on this particular variant of the Class 101 product for Train Simulator is a destination letter. You can find a list of predetermined destinations in the manual for each and every class and release of each model for Train Simulator that comes with the product. So we'll change it to a lowercase a to give Bishop Auckland. Obviously, if you want to look at the list to get a certain destination, you can do so. So we've changed it from W to G to get Middleton in Teesdale. And that is basically that for the Weir Valley Railway Class 101. Going to the older Class 101 model, which was released under Rail Simulator Company days, the destination blinds between this unit and some of the other units that we see in this section of the video will be the same. However, because this is an older model, the data string is very much a different kettle of fish. As you can see as I'm scrolling through it, we've got a unit number here, which is the first 6 characters, 2 @ symbols, then we've got Lima 403, and that designs the unit number, the set number, which some units did carry, especially in Network Southeast and BR Blue liveries. Next we've got the letter D, which will be the destination, and we're going to just make sure you note that you do not touch or delete any of these @ symbols, or else the whole thing goes really screwy. So again, we are going to just give you an example of changing the unit number. At the moment it is Whiskey 54201, a Western Region unit. So if I want to just change it to 210, I just change that in the string in the relevant area, press enter, and it changes. If I am to change the set number on the front of the unit, we'll go to the second slight string of numbers starting with L for Lima, 403, and D. D is obviously our destination marker. So we're going to change the set number and we're going to change it to a different depot. So if I go back and delete that, I'm going to put a T for Tyseley and I'm going to put 005. This is a set that operated locally around my area in Leicester, however it's not represented by this class. So we've changed the set number to customize it, and then last but not least we've got the last function, which is the destination marker. Again, if you go to the relevant manual section in your Train Simulators directory, you will find a predetermined list of destinations. This is currently a lowercase d for Cardiff Central. We're going to change it to a lowercase t, which is Weston-super-Mare. That concludes the 101 in NSE livery. This particular version of the 101 covers the original Class 101 pack from RSC, Strathclyde, BR Blue, NSE, and a few other livery packs on the marketplace. However, please note that this data string is very different from the first one we saw for the Weardale Valley Railway, Class 101. So we'll move back towards the fronts again, because we're going in class number order. So this is the Humble Class 105. Many people will remember this from various scenarios on the Weardale and Teesdale Railway after purchase. So again, we've got a unit number, which is Mike 50392. The data string in this particular model is quite different to how RSC and DTG had previously done data strings. So on this instance, it is the reverse way around. I'll just move back round to the front of the unit for you so you can observe. So as you can see, we start with the lowercase letter C. This brings up the destination charter special. So the destination letter is at the beginning of this data string. Then we've got two characters for the head code box in the middle here, as shown with my mouse circling around it on screen, followed by the prefix, the region prefix, and a 5-digit number. So we're going to change it in order on this particular one. So that is currently charter special. I'm going to change this to a lowercase j. That brings up York. We're going to change B4 to B5. Again, if you want to customize the letters, you should be able to. Maybe not. That was my fault. Wrong button. So when changing the bottom destination marker with the capital A and 5, make sure that if you want a letter, you put in a capital for the corresponding letter of the alphabet. Or else what will happen is if you put a lowercase, as we've just seen, it will try and load the destination name file because of how the characters of the alphabet are aliased to destinations on this model. So we set it to A5, set the destination to York, and we just want to change the unit number once more. So we're going to go with 50302. And that is the Class 105's done. Class 105 is a relatively simple loco to customize. Moving on, we are on to the Class 111 or 111. These units, if you are confused, are very similar to the Class 101s. In actuality, mechanically, I believe these were actually the same in real life. However, there were a few differences between these sets and their real-life Class 101 counterparts. However, for the sake of Train Sim, there's not much difference. As you can tell on this particular model, we have got a full 4-digit headcode box. We have got a destination marker for Bishop Auckland, which is stated as Bishop Auckland, and we've also got a unit number, which is region prefix followed by 5 numbers. Again, we are moving back to the old version of the numbering system that RSC/DTG used on their models. As you can see, all the relevant information is basically there before all the @ symbols. Again, the @ symbols need not be touched, or else this will completely mess up the numbering system. So we've got the unit number first, and it's currently M50134. We are just going to change this to 50178. As you can see, when you hit numpad enter, this does apply to the model. Then the next bunch of numbers is the 4 digits that correspond to the 4-digit destination headcode box, as highlighted in blue with my mouse just below them. Currently is set to 2 Bravo 1 2. You can set this to any class of train, either a 5, 3, a 1, whatever you want if you really want to. And to demonstrate, I'm going to show you one of my all-time favourite headcodes. If you work out what this is, you get a metaphorical cookie. It also helps if I hit the right button at the right time. Always double check your mistakes, folks. So as you can see here, I've changed the headcode to 5 Hotel 17. The last character before all the @ symbols is a lowercase a. You remember that A on another unit that I've currently shown you on this video does bring up Bishop Auckland. We're going to put in a lower class H this time, and that'll bring up Gatwick Airport. Again, make sure you use the correct letter for your destination as stipulated in the manual for your product. Next we'll move on to the class 117, which for some very bizarre reason I've put 2 North Somerset Railway ones down, but in principle I have got problems with the 117 packs. I believe one was withdrawn off Steam, so that has made my life a little more difficult. However, to make life a little bit easier, in essence it will be the newer data string. Since there is no functioning headcode box on the top of this class 117 or any Network Southeast livery variant that you can obtain off Steam or through AP, etc., you'll probably find that you are going to lack the 4 characters for the destination box. However, if this did have destination box, it would probably be akin to the 111 or the 105 we've set up. So on this one, it's quite straightforward. We have a unit number here, which is predetermined on the model, I believe. We can change the carriage number. This is currently set to 51371. And we're going to just set it, for sake of argument, to 51300. Again, you can change the region code by replacing it with a capital for the region that you want. In that case, the S doesn't work, but it brings up a 6. On most units, you should be able to do this. However, it might not be the case on the 117. As you can see, the destination will be quite limited on this unit because it's obviously a North Somerset Railway model. But again, the same rule applies. Lowercase letters and predetermined destinations are found in the manuals. So we're going to change it to B for not in service. There you go. We'll do C for Frome Market. We'll gloss over the second 117. I seem to have put down the wrong one in error. However, again, 117 is going to be the same in principle. Moving on, last but not least, to the last first-gen unit currently represented in Payware development, TS2019 products, is the Humble Class 121 Bubble Car. What you will find is that we have a slightly different string of numbers this time for these units. In this particular instance, the prefix for the set number, in this case being L, Lima, is missing from this particular dialog. However, if you do change that first 3 digits to say 100, it will change it to L100. The next 5 numbers after those first 3 digits refer to the actual carriage stroke vehicle number of the unit itself, currently set to 55032. I'm going to delete the last 2 characters and change this to 55026, hit numpad enter, which corrects the number to how I customize it. Again, there'll be a list of predetermined destinations for this particular model stipulated in the manual provided. As we can see on this particular model, lowercase a provides you with Paddington. We are going to jump up the alphabet a little bit and go with lower class M, which will be Bedouin. As you can see on this particular model as well, the top head code box is non-functioning but is plated over. So this concludes the first section for first gen units. In the next section of this video, we will be looking at second generation multiple units. This will be classes 141 through to 158, and I will also include 170. In this part of the video, we shall be looking at changing unit and carriage numbers as well as destinations on classes 142 through to class 171 as best represented by various developers in Train Simulator. Starting with the class 142 by Armstrong Powerhouse, we are going to go through the process of changing the numbering system first of all. You double click on the particular vehicle itself and the menu will fly out on the right hand side as per usual. For reference, the first 4 numbers in this string are relating to cold start and destination features which are listed and further detailed in the Armstrong Powerhouse manual for the class 142. However, for the sake of this tutorial, we shall only be focusing on changing the carriage and the unit number. As you can currently see, the unit is numbered 142007. In order to change that, you want to skip the first 4 digits in the box and you want to look at the next 6 numbers, so that's digits 6 to 10 inclusive in the string, in order to change the unit number. For sake of example, we're going to change the unit number from 142007 to 142030. Press numpad enter when done, and as you can see, it has changed the number. You can also change the carriage number on these vehicles, which is displayed underneath the cab on the driver's side. Once again, if you double click the model, it will bring out the flyout menu, and you can change the carriage number to whatever is accurate or whatever you wish to change it to. It also helps when I don't delete the wrong digit. Everyone makes mistakes. Now that is done, the only way to change the destination marker is to go into game, into the cab, and change it manually. As you can see, we are now in the cab of the 142 in the scenario itself. In order to change the destination on the particular unit itself, you can scroll through using F7 and F8. F8 advances the scroll through the alphabetical order from A to Z. Pressing F7 will bring the destination back down the opposite way. Moving on to the Class 143 Pacer, as made by Dovetail Games, the renumbering and changing of the destination is relatively simple on these units in Scenario Editor. As per the first generation units, there is a number string in this box on the right hand flyout menu which is very simple and straightforward. First 6 digits are the unit number. In this case, the unit is currently numbered 143607. For sake of example, we're going to change this to 143601. And as I've hit enter, the change has been reflected. The next set of numbers will be the carriage number, which can be changed to suit for the to match the changed overall unit number if you so wish. In this example, I'm just going to renumber it to 55650, just been reflected there. And to change the destination, there is a letter at the end, concurrently running from capital A to capital Z. Again, any destinations that are provided on this model will be found in the list in the appropriate Dovetail Games manual with this DLC. So we're going to change the capital C to a capital G for artillery. As far as I am aware, best to my knowledge, that there is no other way of changing this on the fly in the model. However, I may be corrected, but please do remember that this tutorial is a very broad overview of many models. Moving on next, we come to the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 150-2. Please note that in this section regarding Class 150s, the DTG 150-1 has not been reviewed, as it is currently not a piece of DLC I own. However, as far as I can make out, all the knowledge I've provided in this scenario should set you up in order to change any destinational numbering on the Class 150-1 as provided on Steam. With the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 150-2, we have a very straightforward numbering process. Because the unit numbers are matched all together and correct carriage numbers are provided with the unit itself, when you put down a matching pair of liveries, there's no individual carriage numbers. However, there is a letter at the beginning or the end of the number string, which, as I've just changed from lowercase a to lowercase b, has brought up Norwich. Again, many of these destinations, or all the destinations available, will be listed in the appropriate manual supplied by Armstrong Powerhouse. We're going to go for a lowercase g, even though this is the incorrect livery for Felixstowe, but just as an example, you can change this in the scenario editor. And just to prove it works, we've changed the unit number to 220. We are now in the gaming mode of the simulator, and just to show evidence, on Armstrong Powerhouse models, F7 and F8 as standard on any models wholly produced by Armstrong Powerhouse does change the destination blind. Pressing F8 advances the blind through alphabetical order A to Z, and F7 goes backwards. Pressing F8, we're going to select Manchester Airport, a more suitable destination for a Greater Manchester Public Transport Executive Livery 150. Moving on to the older Class 150-2 model that's been around for quite a while, however some people may still have this, developed by Thomson Ovey. On this particular model, if we double click, it will bring up yet again another numbering string of a slightly different nature. In this particular instance, there is not a letter to set the destination blind. This is set during the driving itself. However, if you wish to change the unit number, please note that the unit individual carriage number itself will be the first set of numbers, 5 digits, starting with 52 in this particular instance, and the unit number overall is reflected in the last 6 digits of this string. So, for sake of argument, we're just going to change unit number to 260, hit enter, and it is changed. And that means we want to change 52269 to 52 260. Again, hit enter, and if we go to the side of the train, we should see, there we go, it's in the middle on First Great Western, which is very annoying. It's changed to the respective number. We shall have a quick look inside the cab to show you how we change this on the fly. Now that we are actually in game, once again, as per a lot of other add-ons, F7 will decrease the roll towards the blank end of the strip on this particular model, and F8 will advance it. As you can see, it does scroll through. This will give a list of appropriate destinations for this particular livery. Again, all of these will be listed in the appropriate manual. In this particular instance, for a bit of a laugh, we're going to go with Newcastle. Next up is the Class 153 from Just Trains. Double clicking on this unit in the scenario editor will bring up a numbering string as illustrated on screen in front of you to the right hand side. Please note that this only gives you the option of renumbering the whole unit, which is obviously only one carriage, and the actual carriage number itself in the rear 5 numbers. So, for example, I'm going to renumber this to 153303. I'm also going to change the 52 unit number, it's currently 52327, to 303. We'll go around the side and just make sure that this number has applied to the model, and as you can see, it has. To change the destination in this, we have to go into the driving mode outside of the scenario editor. As you can see, we are now in driving mode for this particular unit, and the Class 153 is very different from any other multiple unit in Train Sim regarding destination change. To change the destination on this particular model, you have to use Control F12 and Control Shift F12 to scroll through the unit's destination lines. So holding down Control and pressing F12, we cycle through in an alphabetical order, going up the alphabet. To go back again, you hold Control Shift and F12 to bring it back down the alphabet. In this particular instance, I'm going to use Leicester because I am non-biased at all in where I like my Class 153s to terminate. Moving on, next up we have the Class 156 as made by Thomson Interactive. Double clicking on this unit, bringing up the right hand flyout, will bring up a number string, but only for the overall unit number. In this particular instance, we are just going to renumber the unit back 4 or 5 digits, so we'll go with 480. Hit numpad enter, and you can see that the change has taken effect. As you can see on this particular model, for some strange unknown reason, although I think this may be due to auto numbering as a full set, no separate carriage number has been applied. In order to change the destination blind, it's going to be a similar situation to Armstrong Powerhouse and Just Trains products, where you have to change in the driving mode. As you can now see, we are actually in the scenario, the driving mode itself, and to change the destination blind, it is F7 and F8. To advance through the blind in an alphabetical-ish order, which is going up towards the sky, you use F8. To go back, you use and hold down F7. So for this example, we're just going to stick with Doncaster. Next up, we have got Class 158s. Before continuing any further, I would just like to point out that the 158s used in this tutorial are from the Class 158 Enhancement Pack, both Cummins and Perkins variants from Armstrong Powerhouse. This uses the Rail Simulator Company Class 159 as a base for the model. As a result, there are many more 158 models out in Train Sim, and they all operate in a different manner. Please refer to the manuals for your correct version. If they are not to hand, then I recommend that you just try and experiment. You may find that you have enough information from this tutorial overall in order to get the blinds and numbering systems to function as applicable. We are currently back in Scenario Editor, and I've put down a Class 158 here. However, there is no running number. I do not believe there's a coach number applied either at the moment. These units, as part of the coding in the enhancement pack, have auto numbering. Obviously, the number string isn't complete here. So to give you a better example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a fresh set of Class 158 carriages coupled together, and this should give you a unit number of some description. Matching the 158s is quite important on the Armstrong Powerhouse packs, as the numbering system will just not work in any way at all if you don't do it correctly. We're going to go with West Yorkshire Transport Executive Livery, so that's a DMSLB, and we will get a DMCL in the same livery, hopefully. No, we won't. Yes, we will. There we go. Well, we'll use a DMSLA. And what we'll do is we'll just do that, turn it around, and couple it up. With the numbering, completely incorrect livery, but oh well, never mind. In terms of the numbering, you'll find a lot of the time it will change. And destination blinds, come on now. You will find on the 158s, the numbering will change. It normally applies in scenario when you hit the play button. So we'll just save. It may not come out the way I want it to, but basically in order to edit the numbers on these particular AP 158s, I suggest you read the manual on the full detailed version of how to do it. We have got a unit number now, as I did state. We have got 1588901. And I've made a bit of a boo-boo because I didn't put a driver's head above it, so I can't change destination, so be right back. Okay, now that we've actually fixed the problem with the Class 158, to change destination you have to go in the cab. On the 158 enhancement pack models, you will find that there is a predetermined list for each and every livery supplied in the manual. In order to change the destination blind on this particular model, there is a data panel on the right hand side of the cab next to the window, and in order to enter it you press C to clear and you enter a number. In this example I'm just going to go for 108, press E to enter, and it will bring up a destination on the screen. This will be reflected on the outside of the unit as it says Cleethorpes on the blind there. So we'll just try that again just to show you once more. So we press clear and we'll enter 131, press enter, and we get Preston. That pretty much concludes the 158 from Armstrong Powerhouse. It is a very in-depth model, it's a very brief overview, but I do recommend it's one of those where you do have to read the manual. Moving on to the last section of this video entirely, we are going to be looking at the numbering systems in place on the Thomson Interactive with the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack. Class 170. This model does represent Class 168, 170 and 171, and the features explained will apply to all of these variants with the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack installed. So, in order to change the numbering system or the numbers in general on a Class 170, double click and have the flyout here, you can see that we've got 170.110A. Due to the nature of the coding of the numbering system for the Armstrong Powerhouse pack, you will find that a number does not generate until you put down an entire unit. You can change this, however, by double clicking. That's got DMCL203. You can change this, and there is a way which will be explained more in depth in the Armstrong Powerhouse manual. We'll not go into detail here because it is a little bit more advanced than I think most people would like to realise. So, in order to change the destination on this particular model, in mind with the Armstrong Powerhouse Enhancement Pack, you have to go into driving mode. So we'll click play and wait for Train Simulator to do its thing. So we'll just click the 170, and if we look at the front of the unit at the destination board, to advance through it you hold down F8, which brings up a list of destinations on the board applicable to the particular livery of the unit. So F8 advances all the way through to the very end, and F7 scrolls back the other way. There is a list provided for each and every destination provided for each livery on this model and in the enhancement pack. We'll go with Barnsley, which will give you a very comprehensive list of destinations for all liveries, going through the various areas that this unit has worked through. This then concludes, at the moment anyway, the tutorial on changing numbering and destination blinds on multiple units from classes 101 through to 171. Please give us a thumbs up and a like and maybe a subscribe if you like, to let us know if this video was useful to you. I've also got a link to my group which I'll provide in the video in the description below, so you can join and give ideas and feedback to me about my videos, which I shall engage with you over. Please let me know if you do want a tutorial covering classes 175 and onwards in the diesel multiple unit range, and then on to electrical multiple units. It's about time that this video was updated. The last one was done in 2014 and is severely outdated. I hope you have enjoyed the video and find it very useful. Please make sure you point your friends in the direction of this video if they are getting frustrated with renumbering and changing destinations on various diesel multiple units. Thank you for watching. This was a Brucie-Magik production.